Hey everyone. So my last directional air roll tutorial video has gotten just slightly over 1,000 views. Honestly, I didn't think it would get even that big, but since a lot of people seem to be interested in it and found it very helpful, I wanted to make another video, kind of expanding on the things that I said and maybe giving additional tips on how to get good at directional air rolling. So first, I want to start by really emphasizing the what I think is the wrong way to learn this and the way a lot of people start to learn this. That's because that's the first thing that appears in a lot of the tutorials that you may look up on YouTube or Reddit. So a lot of people suggest learning directional air rolling by starting to constantly spin, right? And then looking at the orientation of your car, and then once it's like at the front orientation, start to adjust maybe a certain way to turn the car, right? And then maybe when it's in the back orientation, adjust another way to turn the car, something along those lines, right? And then they tell you things like, okay, if it's on the front orientation, you press bottom right, the car will go top left or something like that. So basically it's like some kind of patterns, right? If you look at the car and it's in that direction and you pull the stick in another direction, the car will go a certain direction. That's how I see a lot of people trying to learn this. Now, having tried that method myself in the past and really thinking about it, this method will not get you where you want to get, or is going to take extremely long time to get to where you want to get with directional air rolling. And that's because there are way too many combinations for you to be able to memorize and think through. And you don't want to think through all these different things when you're actually playing the game because it's way too fast paced. If you think about it, the car is constantly moving in space in this direction, right? Constantly moving in 360 degrees, and you can pull your stick in 360 degrees as well. So think about all the little combinations that you can pull and all the different directions your car will go, right? To gain a total mastery of your car, where it can go, you can't memorize patterns because there's a very, very overwhelmingly large amount of them. So you want to have a method where you can make your brain figure all that out by itself without you having to think about it. So that's kind of the method that I figured out and employed myself to learn directional air rolling and get really good with it. So what is this method exactly? So for PC players, definitely use rings maps. You can start with neon rings. Console players, you can try to do this on the pillars map or in free play first, but definitely the pillars map would be very helpful for you. But for PC players, definitely use rings. That's the most efficient way to learn this. So how do you learn this? You learn this by brute forcing your brain to understand what's going on, so then you can instinctively do what you need to do without knowing why you're doing it or thinking about it. So what you want to do is you want to start rotating your car, so air rolling your car, and you want to start constantly adjusting your car no matter what, right? Constantly adjusting that stick. So look at the left side of the screen, right? You want to be constantly moving the stick while you do this. Now, when you start this, it's going to look something like this. So I'll show you with air roll, right? Since I don't know how to do that. So it's going to look like this, right? So I don't know exactly what I'm doing yet. I'm going to mess up. Yep. So I'm trying to adjust here. Yep, messed up. As you can see, messed up. Now, you want to do this over and over and over again. So two things I want to mention. When I first started to learn this, I started by feathering the boost. Right? I started doing it by, just feathering the boost and trying to do this. Now, and then I forced myself at some point to hold the boost the whole time when doing this, right? And I felt I gained much, much more control when I'm holding the boost the whole time. So I suggest you started by doing it this way, by holding the boost the entire time, by air rolling the entire time, and then constantly adjusting, as you can see what I'm doing here. That's how you want to do this. And you want to do this over and over and over again until it clicks in your brain. And I promise you, this is the fastest method for you to learn this. You will force your brain to understand what the heck is going on, and then you will know what to do. So I'm doing this with arrow right here, as you can see, and you might even look worse than this when you first start this, but it's okay. Keep at it, keep doing it over and over again, and it will start really slow. It's really painstaking, but have some patience. If you really want to learn directional air rolling, just keep at it, and your brain will start to understand what's going on. Slowly, you're gonna notice you know more and more how to move your car, and the more and more you get better at it, the more exponential the speed of you learning it will happen. So just think of it, at first it's gonna be a really slow process, but it's gonna shoot up really fast at some point. And then you're gonna end up looking like this at some point, right? So I'm gonna do it with arrow left now. See, I'm holding boost the whole time. I'm constantly moving the stick. Now look at the bottom left of my screen. I don't have any patterns memorized. I just instinctively know how to move my stick to get to where I want to go, right? So basically, by using the method I just described, I force my brain to memorize all the patterns and understand it at a subconscious level. And then I can consciously, without even knowing why I'm doing it, but I know how to move my stick, right? I know exactly how to move my stick to get to where I want to get to, even though I don't know why I know it, right? And that's what you want to do, right? It's fluid motion. I can adjust however I please, right? So you get to the point where you can go to the right as you please, go to the left as you please, stay up as you please, right? Go backwards. You know, you control the speed, the direction, the orientation, all of that you control, right? As you can see here, you know, you do all that. So I want you to start by fully boosting, holding directional arrow, right or left, it doesn't matter. Don't think about any specific orientation on your stick, and just keep moving it in different direction constantly until it clicks in your brain. So start doing this. So do the first few levels fully boosted. I suggest for neon rings being able to do the first 5 levels completely boosted. Then switch it up. Go to, or even between practice, and switch it up if you want. Go to the medieval rings, and maybe also go to the ice rings. So switch between the 3 of them and practice doing this. But especially for the neon rings and the medieval rings, you should be able to do the first few levels completely boosting. So let me demonstrate it here. Right, switch to this one. This will give you slightly different turns. A lot of the first 5 levels in neon rings focus a lot on moving right. These have some focus on moving left as well. So you want to practice both of these. Alright, so keep doing this, and then you'll get to this point eventually. Right, that's it. The method is really not that hard or long to explain. It's just about repetition. But I want to just emphasize that this is it. That's what you have to do. Like, just hold that boost, move that stick constantly, and try to understand what's going on. At some point, levels are gonna get harder, right? So it's okay to feather boost, but you should be holding boost most of the time, a lot of the time, right? But learning how to feather the boost is good as well, right? Because you use that a lot in game, when you go for double touches, when you go for air dribbles, etc. So, but knowing how to do it while you're fully boosting will help you feather it for sure. But if you learn only to feather it, that's not gonna help you while you're fully boosting, right? So that's why I suggest learning how to fully boost from the beginning. So now, if you're really already good or got really good directional arrow rolling, but you want to continue to improve it, I suggest then going to do Latimer's tiny rings map, right? So that one has really small rings, so you have to be really precise with your adjustments. This will help you continue to refine your arrow rolling. So what you could do is, as you can see here, you can't do this fully boost, it's way too precise to do that. But you could feather your boost and try to go through these rings and try to boost as much as possible. But these get more and more difficult because they're really small. There's very small room for error, and but this is an advanced way to continue improving your direction arrow rolling if you choose to do so. You can see here, it's not really the easiest thing, but I found that this will help you a lot in making very, very tiny adjustments. I think helps with a lot of in-game stuff like air dribbling and double touches and things of that nature.